Now, just put aside for a moment, how the f is this the mayor's fault? Just put that to the side. Welcome to Racist of the Week, where we expose the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the page, and definitely leave me any possible suggestions for nominees in the comments. Our first nominee, Phil Lyman. As you well know, the Francis Guy Key Bridge collapsed. You know what? No. That bridge did not collapse. It was struck. It was hit. Why people just act like the bridge, it just fell down. We don't know what happened. Maybe the bolts got tired. It was knocked down. Damn. That's like saying the Taco Bell collapsed after the car doing donuts in the parking lot lost control and plowed into the dining room. Anyway, a cargo ship reportedly lost control and rammed into a support structure for the bridge, bringing it down Tuesday morning. Now, for non-racists, this was a time for prayers and reflection. But for racists, it was time to blame DEI. Utah Republican lawmaker and gubernatorial candidate Phil Lyman posted this. This is what happens when you have governors who prioritize diversity over the well-being and security of citizens while quote tweeting a post from something called the Young Conservatives Federation, reading, "Let's meet the commissioner for the Port of Baltimore, starting with Corinthia A. Barber. She knows nothing about ports, but she is a diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging auditor and consultant." Actually, you know what? Let's add them too. Second nominee for Racist of the Week, the Young Conservatives Federation. Now, you've watched these before, and you know this is when I fire up the barbecue, but I am actually coming in the spirit of gratitude. And no, it's not because of my other Way of Waters channel, but you should go ahead and follow that one, by the way. No, I come in gratitude because these two posts were so sloppy and lazy in their racism, they gave up the whole DEI blame game. Like if the slowest member of your crew took your master plan and left it in the vault when he tried to strike out on his own. Let's deconstruct. First of all, these posts were made before any investigation was even underway, which is important because we don't need facts. Why wait for facts tomorrow when you could just blame DEI today? Now, let me ask you, if a ship plows into a bridge and you don't have any facts, who do you hold responsible? Now, the wise answer is wait and see, but let's assume we're just simple-minded trolls looking to stir the pot, like Elon Musk on Mountain Dew. Maybe the ship's captain? Maybe the ship's manufacturer, maybe the person who's routing the ships, maybe the bridge engineer. Well, those would all be wrong. Apparently the answer is the commissioners for the Port of Baltimore. And how do you come to that answer? Because one of them is black, of course, which means somebody had to check all of those people to find one who's black. And they landed on the commissioners for the Port of Baltimore. And as dumb as that tweet would be when you press send, they went with it anyway. And thank goodness they did. It's kind of like leaving the numbers in the boxes in a paint by numbers masterpiece. This is invaluable material. But think about what I just said. They went through all of the logical people without any facts and landed on the one who was black to blame, which also means it couldn't be any of the others' fault because they're not black, as is the case in any other transportation catastrophe or really any catastrophe of any kind. I mean, when we hear about a train derailment or subway mishap, it's never, what's with all these white people? This is what happens when there's no DEI. But when there's a brown face in the general vicinity, no matter how far away it is, it's an indictment of all of us. See, they pointed to Israel and then to plagiarism. With Boeing, they pointed to HBCU programs, all misdirection. But this was so lazy, they just left the pure, unadulterated racism just out in the open for all to see and expose the whole game. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed. No, wait, it gets better. When reached for comment by the Salt Lake Tribune, when asked why he immediately went to racism while people haven't even been accounted for yet, Lyman said, well, it was not our best moment. The post was a knee-jerk reaction to some of the things others were putting out there. Now, this is my favorite. Quote, Lyman struggled to explain why he believed that DEI played a hand in the tragedy. Oh, you think? Lyman struggled to explain why he believed DEI played a hand in the tragedy before saying he didn't write the posts. He said his social media team often posts without his approval, which is what happened on Tuesday morning. So what you're saying is, even though I've railed against DEI in the past, this time it wasn't me being racist. This was something racist my team wrote because they thought it fit my brand and the tone of content that we see online. Just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I may be racist, but my team is racist too. And so are all these other idiots online posting the same stuff. You know what? When you're right, Phil. And Phil, you are right. Like this doozy from a Twitter account with almost 300,000 followers who posted, quote, this is Baltimore's DEI mayor commenting on the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge. It's going to get so much worse. Prepare accordingly. Now, just put aside for a moment, how the f is this the mayor's fault? Just put that to the side and ask yourself, how are mayors chosen? Are they nominated? See, King George, he needed a representative in the States, and he chose somebody that he could trust. But he also knew a brown face would curry favor with the people. They are pointing to DEI for duly elected officials. So now, not only can a black person not work their way up to a job without it being DEI, they surely can't be nominated for anything without it being DEI. Now we can't even be elected by regular people without it being DEI. You get it now? The degree of laziness on the part of Racist Inc. is rare. They are ignorant and misguided, but they typically put in the work, at least online, to give the good, decent white folks something to hold on to so they can get on board with your schemes. But they gave them nothing but cold, hard macaroni that wasn't even baked. It was so sorry, even Elon Musk's website had to put in a note of context saying the mayor was elected with over 70% of the vote. I guess those were DEI ballots, right? You know how wrong you gotta be for Elon Musk's website to have to clean it up? But that's where we are, teaching an account with 270,000 followers how elections work after he posts about one. You know what? Anonymous Cornball, you can get a nomination too. Our third nominee for the Racist of the Week, this Anonymous Cornball. Now, I'm going to give Mayor Brandon Scott the final word. Before I do, if you have somebody you would like to nominate, go ahead and leave it in the comments. You can email me at reese.waters@gmail.com. I got videos on Elon Musk, Ronna McDaniel and the MSNBC mess, Candace Owens, and Clarence Thomas on the way. Be sure to subscribe to the page and make sure you get notified when the next video drops. Brandon, you got it.
I know, and we all know, and you know very well, that black men and young black men in particular have been the boogeyman for those who are racist and think that only straight, wealthy white men should have a say in anything. We've been the boogeyman from them since the first day they brought us to this country. And what they mean by DEI, in my opinion, is duly elected incumbent. We know what they want to say, but they don't have the courage to say the N-word. And the fact that I don't believe in their untruthful and wrong ideology, and I am very proud of my heritage and who I am and where I come from, scares them. Because me being at my position means that their way of thinking, their way of life of being comfortable and suffering, and while everyone else suffers, is going to be at risk. And they should be afraid, because that's my purpose in life.